talking about backwards mapping. All that means is you're trying to figure out perhaps what you can about where do you want to end up, what kind of job or career do you want to land in, and what are the pathways to get there. So in Naviance, this is where I pause so that you can get your iPad out and hop into Naviance. Please feel free to do that as we start diving in. In Naviance, I'm going to go to the Careers tab. And under the Careers tab, I would like to first see if I have any favorite careers and clusters that I've identified. If not, I can go to Explore Careers, and I can simply look up something of interest. If I'm not sure about a specific career, I can look under perhaps clusters and pathways and try and narrow it down from there. So I'm going to go with what I know, that's education and training. And I'm going to open that little tab and talk about professional support services. Well, that's what a counselor does, so maybe I'll move away from that towards something about administration and administrative support. This looks interesting, so click on it, open it up, see what we got. One of the things that I might be looking at is, well, what kind of a degree, what kind of a credential, what do I have to do in school to get to it? So most administrators begin in related occupations, prepare for a job, completing a master's or doctoral degree. All right. Well, I'm not quite ready for that yet. I got to figure out how to get into that work maybe a different way. What would that look like? Related occupation. All righty. I see. Oh, I can get more specific. What about education administrators post-secondary? I want to work at a college level, graduate and professional level. Okay. Once I start looking deeper and more closely, I can start figuring out what I need to get to. I know it's education right now. That's about all I know. So if I know that much, well, what are the different ways I can get at an education in education so that I can work in that direction? One tool you might want to play around with is the Supermatch College Search. It lets you control all the variables. I'm going to remove them so I can show you. I know I'm talking about education. I'm curious what it would look like in an associate's. That means a 2-year program of some sort. Administration of special ed, no. Basic skills, no. Ooh, biology teacher, no. How about counselor education? Familiar. Let's see. Let's just do education in general because I don't really know. What can I do for an associate's? I know I've got that. I'm going to look up a location like the Midwest. I don't want to go too far from home. I don't really want to go to Indiana or Ohio, so I'm going to get rid of those. And I'm going to leave some of these Midwestern schools. Now, as I start scrolling through what I've come up with, suddenly I've only got one thing that matches 100%, and it's a 4-year school. That's going to be the difference. If we look down here, there are a lot of 2-year schools that don't fully match, mostly because looks like they're a close match as far as some of the academics, but maybe not a total match with what I'm looking for in terms of a general education. I can change that from an associate's to a bachelor's, and I can type in education again, and I can go down to education general because I'm still not really sure. Now I've still got those same locations, those 5 states. I'm kind of interested in a big city experience. So you can see how the game's played within Supermatch College Search. And that will allow you to start looking at some schools a little bit more closely that match what you're looking for. But in the world of backwards mapping, I'm going to come full circle here, it should start with a career exploration component before you just start looking at schools randomly. What are the careers that you might have some interest in? And then you want to look out and see what you might need to get into that career. And if there is any post-secondary education, 2-year, 4-year, any type, then you are probably going to want to take a peek at some things under the Colleges tab, starting maybe with Supermatch College Search. So backwards mapping, that walks you back to where you sit now and some different ways that you can look into trying to learn about what you might want to do and where you might want to get the further education and training. You can certainly learn more about specific careers if that's going to inform your search more. But if you're not super sure, the Supermatch College search lets you look at things in a little broader sense, and you can type in what you think you might be looking for today at least, and you can save those searches. That's it for now.